like most women who are abused, I hid it from them for as long as I could. Hey, my name's Nicky. I heard about my friend's house through a fundraiser that was a trivia night being put on by some friends of ours. And they decided that all the money that they raised that night would go to my friend's house. And Allison was at the fundraiser. And at the end of the fundraiser, I went and said, "Are you looking for volunteers? Because I'd really like to help." This is a tough one. I personally was abused. I was in a relationship, I was married to a man who abused me several times, enough that I was hospitalized. So it was very, very difficult for me. I had a great support system in my parents and my brother. But like most women who are abused, I hid it from them for as long as I could. And it wasn't until I couldn't take it anymore that I reached out to them and told them. So this house, my friend's house, is very, very close to my heart. I can sympathize with all these women, and I was so lucky that I did not have to go to a shelter, that I had a support system in place to go to without the need of a shelter. Most people think that people who have been abused are low income, uneducated, and that's not the case. It hits everyone. It hits every demographic. It hits every income bracket. There are many, many people out there who are well educated and have money, and they are still abused. One of the biggest fundraisers for my friend's house has been the Red Shoe event. And this past year, I was the Red Shoe lady. So I was the person that took the shoes to all the groups that were going to do a walk. Because we had gone to a different format, not everyone was doing it on the same day. So over the month of September, I delivered many, many shoes to many, many places within South Georgian Bay. The fundraiser raised a record amount of funds in this past year and saw a record number of participants. The red shoe represents the difficulty of walking in heels and correlates that to the difficulty of women going through domestic violence. The men who wear red shoes do so to support the women in their lives, and hopefully none of them will ever have to suffer the domestic violence that the women at my friend's house have seen. Well, my biggest hope is that these shelters are never needed again. But that's a fairy tale. That's not going to happen. So the biggest hope would be to be able to help more women and more children.